Oprah Winfrey has just been confronted about a $1 million fee that her production company received from Kamala Harris. Now, you remember, I mentioned this on the show a couple days ago. She was confronted by a guy just on the street. She was walking around Santa Barbara or LA, somewhere in Southern California, and she denied that she took the $1 million from Kamala.
Hey, Oprah, good morning. How are you, darling? You looking very good. How do you think the election went?
Not talking about the election, thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
I was paid nothing, ever.
What do you think about all the celebrities with their mass exodus?
I'm not talking about it.
Do you think Prince Harry's gonna lose his visa now that Trump's president? Thank you, Oprah.
Thank you, Oprah. Not true. I did not take $1 million from Kamala Harris. Okay, well, now Oprah's changing her tune. We have a report out now. Oprah finally explains the controversial $1 million fee. What happened? She said, usually, this is something Oprah herself posted to Instagram. Usually, I'm reluctant to respond to rumors in general, but these days I realize that if you don't stop a lie, it just gets bigger. My production company, Harpo, was asked to bring in set design, lights, cameras, microphones, crew, producers, and every other item necessary, including the benches and chairs we sat on, to put on a live production. This was for a joint event between Oprah and Kamala. Unite for America live streamed out of Michigan in September. So she said she did not personally get one dime from the campaign. She said, I did not take any personal fee. However, the people who worked on that production needed to be paid and were. End of story. Okay. That's her explanation, huh? Yeah. So she's admitting that she lied, or at the very least misled. Nobody seriously thought that Oprah Winfrey took $1 million handout under the table in cash from Kamala Harris. Oprah Winfrey is a billionaire. She doesn't need $1 million from Kamala Harris directly. And she's too smart to take a payoff directly. Everyone knew, everyone who read anything about the story knew that the payoff went from Kamala Harris to Oprah's production company. But that is highly unusual. I have interviewed many prominent people, and when I interview prominent people, I don't ask them to pay for my sets and my cameras and my crew. I pay for my sets and my cameras and my crew. Well, I actually don't pay for it. Jeremy Boring pays for it. But it's our company that pays for it. It's highly unusual for a supposed journalist of any media figure to be interviewing a presidential candidate and then send the bill to the presidential candidate, especially when the media figure in question is a billionaire. This was a payoff. Simple as. This was Kamala Harris renting out Oprah's credibility, renting out Oprah's crew, and purchasing Oprah's endorsement. That's what this was. And it's not only Oprah. Same thing happened with Al Sharpton. Kamala Harris paid Al Sharpton $500,000. He goes for a little bit of a lower rate than Oprah does. $500,000 weeks before Sharpton gave her a glowing interview. And Al Sharpton has been doing this for years. He is a shakedown artist par excellence. That is his job. Sharpton's National Action Network, which is Al Sharpton's slush fund, got a bunch of money from the Kamala campaign, received two payments of $250,000 September 5th and October 1st. Then, 2 days after the second payment on October 3rd, Al Sharpton aired a video from Kamala Harris wishing him a happy birthday on his MSNBC show. That's coincidental timing, just 2 days later. And then, 17 days after that, Al Sharpton aired a glowing interview, just a real happy, friendly interview with Kamala Harris, in which he described her campaign as extraordinary and historic and attacked Trump as being hostile and erratic. $500,000, that's not bad. If I were a complete con artist, I would take $500,000 to say something nice about Kamala Harris. But make no mistake, that's what was going on here. And the $1 million to Oprah and the $500,000 to Al Sharpton, that was a small piece of a larger, nearly $5.5 million campaign to pay off various grievance groups, Black advocacy groups, Latino advocacy groups. Funny because it didn't work. Kamala knew she had a problem with Black male voters, and ultimately she lost 20% of them. Kamala knew she had a problem with Hispanics. She lost almost half of them. She thought, okay, the way that she's going to win them back is by paying off their grievance groups, their self-appointed leaders who like to mau the flag catchers. And that didn't work because ordinary black people and ordinary Hispanics don't follow people like Al Sharpton. And then on the celebrity endorsement broadly, someone like Oprah, I just don't think that works anymore in the way that it used to. And that's because of something I've been talking about on the show for a few days now, which is a major media change. New York Times and Washington Post are whining about me. The establishment media are complaining, forget about me, I'm small potatoes compared to someone like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, whose interview with President Trump and his interview with J.D. Vance were both far more significant media events than anything any candidate did in the old establishment media, which is the secret story of this campaign. It's kind of below the surface. We're all talking about the big appointees, Pete Hegseth or Tulsi or Bobby Kennedy, but the big revolutionary opportunity here really is to reset the relationship, not merely between the citizen and the government, but between the citizens, specifically conservatives and Republicans, and the press, which has wielded so much power. The media wielded so much power for Democrats in recent decades, and that power seems to be cracking right now. The whole Kamala campaign was totally contrived. All that joy we heard about, it was completely contrived. It was pushed up there in nothing more than a thin facade because Kamala paid off various celebrities to pretend to be excited about her, and it ultimately did not work. That was a great clip. Now hold up, ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel, and we will see you next time.